Yo, 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 welcome back to the Ain't I Crazy channel. I hope you're having a great day. We got some new videos for you today, some controversial videos for you today. So if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, feel free, if you like this type of content, to subscribe, and whatever you do, it's appreciated. But let's get right into these videos.
And there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
So where are these drones actually coming from?
What people don't know.
What's crazy is like they should know where it's coming from. They could just shoot one down or catch one and then,
No, is that Hudson County, New Jersey. Northern New Jersey is the #1 place in the country where they have the most UFO sightings.
Really? Northern New Jersey.
Look it up, Jamie, if you get a minute, please, not to be rude.
But isn't that like near a couple airports?
No, it's closer to like, you know, like when you live in New York City and you look at the Hudson River, they even made a reference to it in The Sopranos. When he said something, he goes, what are you talking about? Last week you said you seen a UFO in Hackensack. Because that's where they're at. Hackensack, Moonachie,
right.
All those, you're going to Moonachie, New Jersey, a lot of ugly people, a lot of people with big heads. The only good thing in Moonachie, New Jersey is fucking Segovia, a Spanish restaurant. It's been there since 19 fucking Schlemensky, I don't know.
sounds like a real story. It probably could have happened.
Facebook is nothing but.
They're already doing that type of stuff with the drones. And imagine the drones in New Jersey. Oh, man.
But a database for the CIA. That's all it is. It has all of your family's pictures, all of your friends. It has all the information. There's not going to be any more privacy. Everything is cameraed down. Everything is caught on camera. And this is what is going to be about in the future, virtual reality that I'm explaining in The Matrix and Terminator. My job is to come here and waken people. That's what The Matrix is about, to wake you up from The Matrix, to get you out of the illusions and the lies and the ignorance.
Facebooks of the world don't want people to know what happens to them every day when they share the information.
But that's destroying their free will, and God doesn't want that.
But people want to be ignorant. They don't want to know that they're being exploited. It requires too much responsibility when they find out.
I think no matter what you tell them, they're still going to be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything.
Explains how you're in a simulation.
Let's start with acting, first of all. And a 2-year-old screams at a restaurant, the entire restaurant screams, teach that kid how to act. We're all unpaid actors in some giant script that we didn't write. Simulation, a 2-year-old jumps on a coffee table and someone says, that's a coffee table, don't jump on that. So it went from being something that makes him feel like Superman, he's got his cape on, to something where he has to think about this person like a family member he doesn't like anyway. He's 2 years old, he doesn't give about a coffee or a table, and he's starting to like calculate all these things, and by the time you're 40 years old, you've got a wall full of coffee tables calculating you into traffic, calculating you into your career choice, calculating you into this townhouse that's not quite as big as the townhouse next, and it just never works. You know, that's the simulation that I'm talking about.
But also, you know, maybe people don't want the kid to get hurt jumping on the coffee table.
We are too protective. We always don't want someone to get hurt. Can you imagine me talking to my publicist before I said I'm going on TV again? We get too caught up in the past and what everyone's saying and what everyone's tweeting, and sometimes you just have to be fearless enough to break the simulation.
We just gotta ignore the fact that
Yo, he be saying some crazy stuff. Sometimes it'd be so crazy that you start to believe it yourself.
physicists at Google think we might live in a multiverse. Because yeah, that's in the news this week. So on Monday, Google announced that they've been working on this thing right here called Willow, and basically it's just a computer chip. It's not just any chip for some regular old PC, right? It's for a quantum computer. Now forgive me for not knowing everything about quantum computing, but I'm just going to tell you a rundown of what the hell's going on here. So on Monday, the CEO of Google came out with this tweet. He said, introducing Willow, our state-of-the-art quantum computing chip with a breakthrough that can reduce errors exponentially as we scale up using more qubits, cracking a 30-year challenge in the field. In benchmark tests, Willow solved a standard computation in less than 5 minutes that would take a leading supercomputer over 10 septillion years to solve, far beyond the age of the universe. If you don't know what 10 septillion years looks like written out, here it is. They went from solving a problem in 10 septillion years to under 5 minutes. Do you understand how insane that is? So me, when I read that, I think it's obviously insane, but I have no idea what it means, right? Well, then Google just decided to drop this on us. It lends credence to the notion that quantum computation occurs in many parallel universes, in line with the idea that we live in a multiverse. Again, this is way above my pay grade, but from what I'm gathering about this is that these quantum computers use other quantum computers in a multiverse to solve these problems very fast. And I don't know how the hell they figured this out. If someone smarter than me can explain, feel free. But the idea that we live in a multiverse is becoming more and more real every day.
Yo, it's getting trickier and trickier with these computers, man. One day it's going to be way out there, far crazy.
This mysterious clip was shared on social media of a glitch in the Matrix.
Oh goodness. Where y'all going? Where are you going?
All of these chickens suddenly freeze in time with no explanation, completely freaking out their owner.
It's grab time! What the fool? Why are they all not moving?
All 5 chickens remain completely frozen, as if time has stood still.
I would have been tripping out. Y'all have been like, what?
What's happening right now? Babies?
What is happening right now? Chickens! Chickens!
The clip continues for some time with all the chickens completely stationary, until suddenly, as quickly as they froze, they start moving again.
Nick! What the? Oh my God!
Robots. Those chickens are robots from Amazon.
Update regarding the time traveler that went into my shed and disappeared. And this is gonna blow a lot of people's minds. And if you're still denying that this is real at this point, this is gonna change your mind. So just a quick recap. This guy walks around my backyard, goes to my shed, opens the door, goes inside and disappears. Called the cops came, they went in the shed twice. He wasn't in there. They looked, I looked like an insane guy. The cops are like, what is this guy smoking? And you can see he never came back until the next day right here. Notification on my camera that there's somebody in my backyard and this guy leaves my shed. And he looks right at the camera too. That guy left my shed. But here's the craziest part. This looks like the same guy, maybe, glasses, whatever. Let's look at the other guy. This was the other guy. He noticeably aged. Looks like the same guy, but aged. So him again, and now him. Same facial features, whiter hair. So I don't even know what to think at this point. Somebody explain this. He literally left the same shed. You saw the camera I put before. There was no movement that whole night. Then the next day, this guy leaves the shed, looks right at the camera like he knows, and he looks noticeably older. I don't know, something's going on. Somebody explain what's going on in my shed. I'll be going there in about a week to give a tour, since a lot of people are asking. But yeah. It's crazy. Like, I don't even know what to think. Did he time travel? Is this a different person? Who is this new guy? Is it the same guy? Let me know what you think, because this blew my...
Dude has a portal in his shed. Huh, that's crazy.
Excuse me, sir. Hey, do you know what year it is today? 1998. Why? Guys, I'm in 1998. As you can tell behind me, I'm at Pizza Hut in 1998. I'm going to show you what Pizza Hut looks like. This is going to blow your freaking mind. Let me show you something. Guys, how do you deny this? I'm literally here, guys. I mean, the salad bar at Pizza Hut. You haven't seen this since like 2000. Guys, look at these lamps. I mean, I'm literally here, guys. Check it out. Oh my God, look at the old dining experience. Let me show you something that's going to really, really blow your mind. Check this out. You haven't seen this in a long time. Guys, we even have an old school arcade. Well, it's not old school right now. It's old school to me. One of them's from 96 and the other one's from 94. Can you go ask someone what year it is? 1 second, watch.
Seems like it could be real. Or he could have filmed it way back then.
We don't have homes like you do now. We have what's called pods. Homes were completely done away with by the 3000s. Pods they're like homes, but a lot smaller, airtight, sealed. They don't affix to the ground. They use magnetic technology. So basically, you flip a switch, it locks. You flip off the switch, it unlocks. And this is done for transportation purposes. Robots are primarily used for labor positions. AI, which you have already started to implement in your time, but we use on a much larger scale.
The first story I read about you were arrested for stealing food. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was the first day I got here, actually. I wasn't aware of your customs here yet. You see, in the future, things like fruit, water, some vegetables, they're free in the marketplaces. We have what's called nourishment centers, where basically you're allowed up to 3 items at no cost. And fruit, you never have to pay for. So it's just a simple misunderstanding, really. Oh, and water. I still can't get over the fact that you guys pay for water to be bottled up here. Your time makes history in so many ways.
So what y'all think, man? Y'all believe in time travel, man? Is it possible? Can it be done? Have they figured it out already? I'm curious, man, because that would be nice to have.
After our interview, I found myself pretty amazed. I'm not saying I'm a believer at this point. I mean, anyone can make up a story, but I have to admit it. It's a pretty good story. After a few days went by, I thought of a million more questions I wanted to ask. I found myself wanting more information about the supposed future. And more importantly, I wanted to push for more proof, something that can point to the truth. I really wanted to know, is this guy from the future, or is it all just a story?
So I'm on my way to an interview with Sebastian, and I've noticed something strange. Ever since I left the house, this same car has been following me. And I'm 100% sure it's the same car, because when I stopped to get gas, it stopped. And then when I left, it followed. So it's either a coincidence or I'm being followed. Hey. How you doing? Hey, thanks for having us. You mind if I come in and use your restroom? It's been driving for a long time. Come on. Will you just give me everything in one big crash course, more or less?
One big crash course, huh? Yeah, okay. There's going to be several major wars. There's going to be a world war that will change many things for your lifetime. It's going to be between the US, the EU, China, Russia, and the Middle East, more specifically Iran. This war is going to be massive, and there's another one starting right now with this coronavirus. This war will be known as the vaccine war. Billions of people refuse the vaccine, and billions of people die as a result of it. There is no resolve, even through my time. This vaccine is a mandatory chip implant. By the time I was born, every child born into the corporation is required to have it. You can actually see the scar where I have mine. Feel it.
Yeah, I can feel that's weird.
Everybody's required to have it. You can't travel, you can't go to school, you can't work, you can't do anything without this chip. At that point, you're basically a beneather.
What's a beneather?
Right. So the beneathers are the people that don't believe in the chip or the vaccine. They basically refuse it. They live beneath the cities in the abandoned tunnel systems. They're oftentimes referred to as the ones below. They refer to themselves as the believers, but to everyone else in society, they're known as the beneathers. They don't live long at all. They all live to about 40 years old.
Why do they die so young?
Nobody can live outside for years and years at a time without proper care. People need masks and respirators outdoors at all times. The air quality in my time is so poor.
Yo, he makes it sound so real, like it could be true, man. What y'all think, man? Hit up the comments. Let me know what y'all think, man. Time traveling? He came back. It sounds, everything he said sounds like it could be. Yeah, let me know.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
This mysterious
That is crazy.
Footage was shared on social media. At first, it appears to be an enclosure at a zoo with monkeys. But as the footage continues, the clip becomes more mysterious as the dark figures move around. They appear to be human in form. Suddenly, another dark figure drops down from one of the other trees, folding to the floor, and then crawling like a human. A tree also moves strangely, as if it has a life of its own. At one point, this figure stands up on two legs and disappears into the darkness. Meanwhile, the smaller tree in the foreground continues to move on its own. So is it just an elaborate hoax or something more mysterious?
That is a crazy clip, man. There was a lot of things going in on that clip that I got questions about. If that's a real video, that is crazy.
Deep sea footage appears to capture the moment a prehistoric beast swims past the camera. At first, it looks like a shark, but as it continues, it appears to have rear elongated fins and ridges to its back. It is much larger than a shark, and is about twice the size of a killer whale, and resembles the fossils that have been found of a pliosaur.
It looked like a dinosaur for sure.
See where eggs are from. A land beyond the ice wall, and our realm is a prison.
Yo, he looked like he should have played in The Mummy. That movie, The Mummy, and all. Oh man.
Normal pads of sheets of paper.
They're not
but
normal
basically, basically, I got a printer in my hometown of Los Gatos, California, to make these pads for me, and I got him the supplies from a higher quality printer, and they're perforated, so you can tear them off like green stamps. I don't know if it's the right president. The serial numbers are very suspicious, but you can still smell the ink, so don't touch it because it's a little wet. They meet the specs of the U.S. government. So by law, these are legal tender. I have been spending them. You can get arrested for them. You cannot get convicted because you're in the right.
He's printing his own $2 bills
and
spending them.
I sell sheets of 4 $2 bills for $5. And of course, I tell you, what you're getting is worth $50. It's worth. You'd be an idiot not to buy it for $5. I sell them all over the place. And the Secret Service approved these 3 times.
Yo, he really found out a way to beat the game. That looks like the thing they were shooting California and Hawaii up with. Who knows what they got up there shooting at us?
Jesus Christ. Okay guys, well that's 2. Filming the ceiling I requested. Okay guys, well that's 2. Filming the ceiling I've requested. And that's a 3rd.
That's pretty good, I think, overall.
Any more?
It is. Almost $80 right there.
Okay, what came through the portals with these 3 crosses?
Yo, that's, if they made it, that's some good camera work, and that is crazy. If it's for real.
Check this out.
There's a scientific study by a man called Cleve Baxter. He took cells from a human, put them in a petri dish, and moved them 40 miles away.
They began to show powerful images to the person that had donated the cells. Graphic images of war, destruction, comedy, humor, sexual images, anything to elicit a genuine emotional response. The instant that the person had the emotion, his cells acted as if they were still in his body having the same emotion.
The cells 40 miles away show the electrical activity of that response. What's the point? This person's cells are connected to this person, but they're 40 miles away.
How did the information reach, or did it? And the answer is, it didn't have to travel. The field is holographic. And what that means is what happens in one part of the field influences other parts of the field in the same instant. And this is deeply, deeply profound.
Our thoughts are not contained in our head. Our thoughts are broadcast to the field. If I put wires on your head, that's called EEG, electroencephalograph, I can read your brain. But there's a new technology called magnetoencephalograph. The probe doesn't touch the head. The probe is out here. I'm reading your brain activity from out here.
The brain. Man, that's crazy. Our whole body is just made up of cells. Our brain, all our organs are just made up of cells, and they are your cells. Personally.
Doesn't know the difference between an actual experience and an imagined experience. If I anticipate surgery and I'm afraid of the surgery, I'll release the same flood of hormones as the surgical procedure. In fact, I might release even more. If I think in my mind that I'm watching the sun, my pupils will dilate. If I think in my mind I'm in the darkness, the pupils will contract. If I think I'm holding some hot coals in my hand, the temperature will go up. If I think I'm holding ice in this hand, the temperature will go down. So every wisp of thought releases a flood of hormones and chemical messengers, and every little cell in your body is eavesdropping on that.
If you're worried about something, the worry about the experience causes as much problem as the actual experience,
if not more.
Positive thoughts, y'all. Keep them positive thoughts.
There's a law in physics that basically says that when you have energy that is vibrating at a particular frequency, within 17 seconds, other energy like that will be attracted to it. So if I'm having a positive thought or a negative thought, then what happens is that energy is attracted to it. I have other thoughts that are like that thought. So if you do that 17 seconds, for 68 seconds, then momentum begins to occur. So let's say that I'm normally, all of our emotions have a frequency to it. So if I'm in despair or anger or worry, all of those are lower, denser frequencies. You get into things like contentment, happiness, joy, love. Those are higher, faster frequencies. So let's say that I normally live in contentment, and that's my set point, because that's where I live. I think about that all the time. That's what my makeup is, that sort of thing. So I'm driving down the highway. All of a sudden a car cuts me off and I get angry. So now I'm in the lower, denser frequencies. And so then I go back to the office and I'm telling all my colleagues, here's what happened, this knucklehead cut me off. Go home, tell my wife that. What am I doing? I'm vibrating angry energy. So I go to the supermarket and there is somebody in line. I have 3 items and I'm getting in line and somebody ahead of me has 38 items. And the guy that's running the cash register, it's his first day and he's not doing very well. He's very slow. Is that a coincidence? No, it's something for me to get angry about. So I'm attracting into my world whatever it is that I'm vibrating. So where my thoughts are, that's what's creating my reality.
Yo, I believe all that. Everything he said. Have good vibrations, man. Have some good vibrations.
Earth is really rotating. Then why are airplanes flying? They could just go up in air and stay in the same location and wait for the Earth to rotate and then land. Why do they need to fly? Isn't that concerning?
So most of us believe
maybe because everything's rotating.
The Earth is round because of all the pictures and videos we've seen from space, right? NASA, ESA, Russia, all these space agencies show us stunning images of Earth and we just take them at face value.
drones.
But what if we actually looked at them more closely? Here's where things start to get suspicious. For decades, these space agencies have been feeding us the same kinds of images, but there's a big problem no one seems to notice: patterns of manipulation. I'm talking about fisheye lenses that curve the horizon, images that are mostly computer-generated, and even clouds that seem frozen in time. Seriously, clouds that don't move for hours. Something isn't adding up here. Now, before you dismiss this as some wild theory, consider this. NASA themselves admit that a lot of their images are composites, meaning they're stitched together from data, not actual photos. Therefore, why the need for heavy editing if Earth is exactly as we've been told? For instance, one of NASA's own visualizers, Robert Simon, openly said that their Earth images are photoshopped because they have to be. That's a direct quote. But why? Why would photos of our own planet need so much doctoring? Let's look at some examples. Ever seen NASA's time-lapse of Earth from the Galileo spacecraft, filmed over 25 hours? The Earth spins beautifully, but there's one glaring issue: the clouds. They don't move, not even a little. In real life, clouds shift constantly. They dissipate, morph, drift. Just stand outside and watch the sky for a few minutes and you'll see what I mean. But in NASA's video, nothing. Therefore, it's likely computer-generated, isn't it? And it's not just NASA. Compare their images with those from Russia or China, other space agencies. If all these photos are supposed to show the same Earth, why do the continents and oceans look so different? Sometimes the colors are off and the continents are either bigger or smaller. Even the clouds seem to be copied and pasted in some shots. But are we really supposed to believe this is all a coincidence? Some Apollo mission photos have revealed rectangular artifacts around the edges of the Earth, as if they were pasted together, much like a digital collage. Therefore, why would they need to stitch these photos together if the Earth really looks like what they're showing us? The pieces just don't fit. So here's the big question. Is the Earth truly a spinning ball? Or have we been staring at digital illusions this entire time? I don't know about you, but it makes me rethink everything. What if now?
Makes you wonder, man. Makes your brain start just ticking a little bit and spinning a little bit, just wondering.
NASA's own documents reveal that Earth isn't a spinning globe at all. Sounds impossible, right? We've all been shown those amazing photos of Earth, a perfectly round planet. But here's something odd. NASA, the organization behind those iconic images, also publishes technical reports for engineers. Therefore, if there's something unusual in those reports, it might challenge what we've been taught. NASA released a technical report called Derivation and Definition of a Linear Aircraft Model. It's a detailed guide for calculating flight dynamics. Sounds like boring math, doesn't it? But here's the twist. In this report, NASA's calculations assume a flat, non-rotating Earth. Yes, flat and stationary. Now, you might be wondering, why would NASA, of all organizations, use a flat Earth model in their calculations? But what if it's because for their real-world applications, a flat model actually works better? When engineers design aircraft or spacecraft, you'd think they'd need to account for Earth's curvature and rotation to ensure accuracy, especially at high speeds. Therefore, it raises a big question. Why doesn't this document mention accounting for a spinning globe? Think about the planets we see in the sky. We're taught that Earth must be a sphere just like them, right? But ancient cultures had a different perspective. They didn't think of them as planets. They called them wandering stars, lights moving through the sky, not solid spherical worlds. Therefore, when you look at them through a telescope, they appear as glowing dots, not surfaces like Earth. Then there's the issue of images. Most of the photos we see of planets, and even Earth, are actually composite images, not single unedited shots. But here's the thing. NASA even admits many of these images are enhanced to present the narrative of a perfectly round planet orbiting in space. Therefore, if the idea of a flat Earth is even remotely possible, it opens the door to countless questions about what else might not be as it seems. Are you ready to explore more about what else we might be missing? Stick around and check out more videos on this page.
Got y'all wondering yet?
Your name?
Ruth Heath.
Ruth, and how old are you today?
102.
102. So you were born in
1918.
1918. And we were just talking, and I asked you what shape the Earth is, and what did you say? What were you taught in school in elementary school?
I was taught in school that the Earth was flat.
And then what do you remember when they changed it to a globe?
Well, when they changed it, I remember when they changed it, but I can't remember the date or anything like that.
And did you believe them?
Yes, I did.
You did. Now,
I was young.
Right, and we all were told by people that we trust.
That's right.
Where did you go to school? Elementary school.
I went to Spur Glen School in Hamden, Connecticut. I lived on a farm and grew up with all kinds of animals. No electricity. A big white farmhouse.
You said that you're religious, that
yes.
you follow the Bible.
Yes, I do.
And are you aware that the Bible is all about the flat Earth? That God put the Earth on the footstool and separated the waters from the waters, and created the firmament. If you read Genesis, there's over 200 verses in the Bible that refer to a flat Earth.
That's right.
And I think there's only one verse that mentions Earth as a circle. But just like this table right here, that table is a circle,
right,
but it's flat.
That's right.
Right. A circle is different than a sphere. A sphere is the same in every direction.
That's right.
The circle of the Earth. So how does it make you feel to realize that you were right as a kid?
It makes me feel better.
It does make you feel better, right?
Oh, it makes me feel alive.
Oh my God, that is so true. My whole life, I believe, yes, what I was taught.
That's
and then
right.
when I discovered the flat Earth,
I feel better about it.
Because we are the center of creation.
That's right.
We are important.
That's right.
We are here.
We are God's children.
Excellent.
Yes.
I will,
I believe in God. I trust God. And when all the problems that are happening in this world today,
I'll give you some good news. A lot of the problems that they report on the news aren't even real.
Brother.
What y'all think, man? It's getting crazy.
The whole idea of space is so fake that it's hard to even have the conversation because I sound like a totally crazy man. But basically, the earth is flat. There's a firmament that God made. That's on the first page of Genesis. God made the firmament to separate the waters above, the waters below. And outside of the firmament, all those other things you see are lights. And you can actually zoom in with a telescope and see stars twinkling.
So the moon landing was definitely fake.
Oh, for sure. NASA is totally satanic. And let me tell you what the end goal of NASA is, because I could talk all day about NASA and how they lie and what they use and all this stuff. But let me tell you exactly what the end goal of NASA is. What NASA is doing is they're trying to make you believe that aliens exist. So when they use United States military bombs and bomb Los Angeles, they're going to say aliens did it. Now, y'all need to be rounded up for your own safety, and we're going to put you in these concentration camps, and they're going to have slave laborers for the rest of their life because everybody's going to be living in fear of aliens. I'm telling you, aliens don't exist. Space don't exist. NASA, when it was invented, it was a satanic operation in the 60s and 50s, and the whole thing culminates to the fake alien.
Rare photos.
What do y'all think, man? People who believe that really believe that, like, in their soul. I'm curious. I wonder what all y'all believe, man.
Opening ceremony of the 1980 Moscow Olympic Games. This precariously balanced rock near Searchlight, Nevada has been sitting like this for over 10,000 years. The dark side of the moon caught by NASA's Climate Observatory. The power of a tornado. A Chinese millionaire began selling cans of fresh air for 80 cents a can in response to China's worsening air pollution and made over $6 million. The Knife Angel stands 27 feet tall and is made from 100,000 knives in Oswestry, England. Lonnie Johnson is the inventor of the Super Soaker water gun. The Victoria water lily is the strongest leaf in the world, capable of holding up a human. This is what Albert Einstein's desk looked like the day he died. North Sentinel Island is home to the Sentinelese people, one of the last uncontacted tribes in the world. A famous photograph of a little girl turning away from the loom to the window. This picture became a symbol of the struggle against child labor. Children living in Siberia getting UV light exposure during the long, dark winter months.
Crazy.
Always come back.
Whatever it was huge. It was big.
So this was spotted coming out of the sea in Antarctica. That was mad. I really do wish we had a longer clip though. What do you guys reckon? Do you reckon that's real? It's not like I'm an expert on these things or anything, but when I played it back in its slowest frame rate, I didn't see any inconsistencies. Could possibly be real. But one thing I know that's a fact, the amount of these that are floating about lately, some of them have to be real. They can't all be fake. And it sparks the question, why is it now they're so openly allowed to be on social media? There's no one trying to classify them and filter them out. It's almost like they want you to see these things. In fact, anything I've posted recently relating to aliens and UFOs, it's almost like the algorithms pushed it even harder.
I want you to think about this. Something with the capabilities of traveling light years, not showing a heat signature, and the energy capabilities of that would put the Pentagon out of business. We wouldn't be fighting these worthless wars overseas over oil, and American boys and girls wouldn't be dying. It would put the war pigs out of business, and they'd have to go somewhere else, and I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I think what's going to happen now, the floodgates, other people are going to say, you know, I've got some information, I'd like to come swear in. I've seen enough, and I would hope that you all would get that opportunity to see what we've seen.
Like the first guy said, it can't all be fake.
They start seeing more ships. They may actually put themselves in certain positions and hold themselves there, so we get used to the idea.
Not what I usually post, but then again, this is kind of weird. Went to the window. I'm in South America for work. To close my blind, 5:54 p.m., Medellin, Colombia, and here it is.
They might appear over the ocean, so, you know, they're not over our heads, but we can stand on the shore and we can see them. And they might just stay there for quite some time so that we just get used to the idea that they're here. They have been watching for quite some time, and I think we are approaching the time where they are about to let us know that they've always been here. We're about to have open contact. I think it's actually pretty imminent now. They will reintroduce themselves to our society now that we have evolved to a certain point where we're starting to explore the idea of expansion of consciousness. We're starting to understand we're not alone in the universe, and all these kinds of things open us up to being able to receive them again.
Everybody on the earth is free.
It does seem like it's coming. If it's now, it seems like it's now.
From someplace else. None of us were born and hatched here. None of us as souls were created here. We all come from another time and place. My understanding is that all of the conscious spirit that's in this universe came through different black holes from other universes in time and space, which we simply aren't privy to. So we're ancient. There's no age to us. We weren't created with the universe. We came through another universe, through the black holes, to this place that we now call our universe, to continue to evolve. That's everyone, virtually everyone.
You know, that contact at age 14, was that contact time travel in any way by the Andromedans to prepare you psychologically for your future contacts?
Yes, all the contacts is where they had to come back, because they came here in 1980, so they had to go back in time, and that's what they've done with a lot of people. Even the Pleiadians, to some degree, I understand, have done that, where they go back and they start preparing people early for responsibilities that they will have in the future, as opposed to hitting them all at once and saying, here you go, you know, just dumping it on your lap and you're saying, oh my God, what is this? You know, my whole reality. So there are increments of preparation that have occurred and continue to occur. And this is occurring with humanity on a whole in similar fashion. where information is being disseminated in little bits and pieces of ground roots. People are starting to come together and really sensing change, and they're slowly but surely being brought to a level that when the real truth hits them, they'll be able to experience it, handle it, and assimilate it for our good.
Now, in 1985, your contacts with Visayas and Bornee began to become more frequent. Please describe the nature of your contacts and the content of your discussions and the ways in which you communicate with them.
We don't have enough time for that. But, we have put together a series 1 and series 2 of this information. In 1985, it really started to, the information, they were physical, it evolved around the grays, the Earth agenda, our spirituality, religions, Earth governments, Earth history, our genetic creations, the 22 different races that have actually colonized the Earth at one time or another, and who we have within us genetic racial memories of, within our DNA. And present time, things that are occurring now, and probable, I stress probable future events, because the future is being created every day, and it's being changed every day, based on our thoughts. So, just to sum up, it is, I would need 10 hours. Okay. That's not something I could very simply go into. Okay. But the series of 8 and so on and so forth does in fact cover that. Okay. All that information.
All right. Now, how does the symbol they gave you play a role in your contacts with them?
Symbol.
Apparently, they gave you a symbol that you use when you
want to talk to them.
Want to talk to them.
The symbol was something that I chose.
Oh, I see. Do they ever talk amongst themselves in a language you don't understand?
They do, and it's not really a language. They're telepathic, and yes, they'll stand in circles when they're talking, and when they do talk, flashes of light where their third eye is, right here, different flashes of colors that we don't even have on our third density spectrum, just appear, and they're just boom, 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 flashing all this color, and it's like instantaneous sentences are being just communicated, and sometimes there's nodding, sometimes there's nodding this way, or sometimes up and down, sometimes there's gestures, but all the time there's just flashes, and their flashes is their language. It's rare that I've been privy to what it is because they happen so fast. I couldn't assimilate it.
So there are some universal gestures then.
Yes. All human beings are very animated. Yes, they smile. They also frown, and they also look very sad when something is distressing them. So they do experience it. They do experience emotions, but not to the degree that we do. After they've had their discussions, one will turn to me. Usually, most of the time it's Morene, and he'll talk to me like I'm talking to you. He'll actually go to the great lengths to speak to me. Or sometimes it's just telepathic. He'll just look at me, and for a while there, I wasn't always getting the message because I was so focused on the color that was flashing in front. I was watching that, I was like, wow, this is really amazing. But sometimes I'd have to repeat it. So, but now that novelty has worn off, so now I listen to the message. And Visayas is almost always telepathic. So that's what they do.
What have they asked you to do in order to help them?
Just to disseminate information. I'm currently in the process of trying to investigate all of the current UFO information that's out there, and what I've had the ability to do is to sometimes check it with them. Well, is this true? Is that true? And they've said yes, or they've said no. There is a lot of disinformation out there. So what I've been trying to do is just to assimilate what is real and give it from their perspective of how it affects us. We have a real mess on our hands.
Okay, let's talk about some of that. According to your Andromedan sources, there are 3 groups of extraterrestrials who are involved in very distressing agendas here on Earth. One is the renegade gray-skinned Zeta Reticulans. Another is the Giza intelligence formerly of the Pleiades. And a third is the reptilians from Alpha Draconis. Is there another?
Yes.
Okay.
Yo, what dude is saying sounds like it could be true, man. What y'all think? We from a different galaxy, dimension? Y'all think we from somewhere way off like that, man? We were just brought here? Curious.
This is the documented moment of conception. And the sperm enters the egg, and there's this poof of light that comes off of it. Scientists are studying this, and they're looking at it, and they're like, okay, well, it looks like it's a release of zinc, a burst of zinc that comes off the egg, and it creates this appearance. But any way you slice it, they can't explain away that light happens when life happens. Isn't that amazing? Light happens when life happens. So
that is amazing, man. That's when life happens.
It makes me feel like that.
People are definitely strange. Well, that's all I got for y'all today. I appreciate y'all hanging out. We have some new videos later this week. Remember, use your own brains and your own thoughts. Come up with your own conclusions and hit me in the comments and let me know how you're feeling. Well, y'all have a great day.